Hey everyone, Pupsker here. I don't know if you saw, but either I'm uploading this video first or the full tier list creation video first, but this is what the Warframe 2025 tier list ended up becoming after we made a casual little Twitch and YouTube chat voted tier list. As you can see, in S tier, in no particular order, we have Gauss, Mag, Mesa, Mirage, Nova, I guess alphabetical order, Nyx, Octavia, Protea, Revenant, Saren, Sevagoth, Volt, Wisp, Zaku, Citrine, Kurlevo, Dante, and Dagoth. In A tier, we have Baruch, Caliban, Chroma, Ember, Frost, Gara, Garuda, Grendel, does that Gyre, Harrow, Hildren, Hydroid, Korra, Necros, Najah, Nidus, Rhino, Styanax, Titania, Trinity, Valkyr, Varuna, okay, Wukong, Zephyr, Jade, Kome, and Site 09 as A tier. Dear God, there's so many, right? In B tier, we have Ash, Banshee, Excalibur, Inaros, Ivara, Lavos, Vauban, Ureli, and last but not least, Corvex. And then in C tier, we have Atlas, Equinox, Limbo, Loki, and Oberon. So this is what it ended up becoming. The community tier list here was purely, again, voted on by like Twitch and YouTube chat. So it wasn't anything that I personally made. I already made my personal tier list a little bit ago. Realistically, Warframe, again, is the type of game where if you use the Helminth, you have a lot of Archon Shards mod. Any Warframe's usably good as like an A tier Warframe. You have a lot of abilities and a lot of usability between everything. Especially, again, Helminth, right? Adding on a free, really good ability for any Warframe, it kind of makes anything viably good. And you can just use weapons in the entire game, using Warframes only for survivability if you even feel like, right? So anything can be used, but this is what people have decided are most usable. If we look at C tier, I want to say people put Atlas low because pretty boring frame overall, punching and rumbler. Like, people just don't like his kit overall. It can still be good and you can still kill everything, I believe, pretty easily somewhat. But it's just like boring, and the overall usability and fun of the kit is really low. Same with like Oberon. He's like AoE heals and damage and some like armor strip maybe. I can't remember if his one ability does armor strip. I think it does something like that. But his numbers are low. His AoE is weak, low tier compared to other stuff, so people just don't like it. Loki's overall kit just sucks until you start getting augments, and even then, it's like people just don't like it a ton. So I think that's why dude's pretty low. Same with Equinox, same with Limbo. People just don't like their kits, and then they can like other kits doing other things better, I guess. And I want to assume it's the same with like, once we get up here, Ash, like people put Loki as the lowest tier invisibility frame, and then a lot of people look at Ash as like another invisibility frame, but they don't seem to like him too much, so they throw him lower tier. Because again, it's like, this is just, tier lists are mainly just depending on what people like at this point. Because again, anything can be built to be pretty godly in the grand scheme of things. There's so many augment mods, so many Helminth abilities, Archon Shards upon mods, upon arcanes, a lot of damage, right? Banshee, really good frame, but I think she's just definitely fallen out of favor in the Warframe community for a lot of people, because I think she's still really good for AoE and like damage, but lower tier now. Excalibur, yeah, makes sense in B tier. Good frame, has a decent CC, like a blinding AoE, has decent damage on his Exalted Sword, but he's just not good enough. Inaros is better now. Probably people used to put him in C tier. Inaros is better now with the update. Tankier, better regens. I think like invulnerabilities and better survivability. So yeah, Inaros is better, but still like people put him in B tier. I don't think people really just play Avaro a ton, and her kit's a little more niche, but I'm surprised she was in B and not C. I think some of these were really close though. Lavos, Vauban, Ureli, Corvex. Straight up, I just don't think people like Ureli. Corvex he's a good frame, but he's a stationary frame, so maybe lower tier. Vauban's kind of just like good at CC and not good enough with his other abilities, I'd say. And people just don't like using a lot of Lavos and like swapping around the abilities in statuses a ton, I think. Because like Lavos' kit's still really good, especially because you can use a lot of statuses. I think it's just people find it annoying to swap between it. And it is all like all just like damage type abilities, so you do have to build them like more survivable. You don't have any inherent shield gate or a ton of survivability off your abilities, till I think like maybe some augment mods. Either way, he's a pretty cool frame. But then we go to A and S tier, so holy shit. People put so many things as A and S tier, way more than I thought, which is like fair because everything's so strong in Warframe, and it makes sense. Depending on like how people are thinking, it's like, yeah, most Warframes would be like A tier or like S tier, insanely good. Let's look at them one by one though, like starting at S tier. Gauss is a speedster frame. Speedster frames always are like favorite, like that's all there is. Speed frame OP. He has good DR, some elemental damage overall, but like a huge part speedster frame. Like shit's just too good. You can't go wrong with the speedster frame. Mag, especially after the update, just seems really good if you like her playstyle. You can move around. You can stay stationary. You just like beat people in, pull them in, push them, right? Do whatever you feel like. A lot of damage. Good augments, I think, overall. I need to play her more. Mesa was like hard between A and S. I think Mesa's fallen out of favor, but she's still pretty popular, so people still like the auto shooting kind of Cowboy of the West gimmick, so love it. Mirage was S tier because lots of damage, right? Good blinds, damage, so you can't really be too mad. Just a lot of damage primarily. People love damage. Nova, speed, damage, good stuff. Nyx, like new Nyx updates, good damage, survivability. Chaos. Yeah, so a lot of these S tier frames, people, they've either been recently updated, fan favorites for a long time, or are new Warframes that are pretty strong, right? And that's just how it always will be. Octavia's still in there because she's a simple frame. She goes invisible, throws around all her AoE damage, and just kind of like watches everything die. So you can get a lot of damage off, for sure. Protea, people put her S tier. I think I put her A tier or S. She's my personal favorite, to be fair. But like, people put her S tier. Good damage with turrets. Good slash and survivability shields with your first, right? All of her other abilities, not as good, but still good, so people put her S tier. Revenant's S tier pretty much because survivability. His other abilities are also good. Good damage overall and like taking over enemies in Thrall, right? Yeah, not the worst, not the best, but good and invincible, so that's really nice. Saren's just because like death do your part. Till death do his part. Anyways, she just does insane AoE. She kills everything. She is like the bubonic plague frame, so people seem to love her, and that is understandable. I honestly have never been a huge Saren enjoyer. She's good. I just like don't care too much, but yeah. You're on rolling guard, use your like clone ability to get out of danger and heal, and then you're just like good to run around everywhere. Throw a brief respite on, you're probably chilling, right? Throw a lot of duration range, some strength on her, she's good to go. Yeah. I am surprised people put Sevagoth S tier, but I think a lot of that was because like people really like Gloom. I'm not a huge Gloom user, but it is really good, like good AoE slow and regen. But he is also good with some of his augments and everything. You just reap and sow with your shadow, go shadow mode, kill stuff. But yeah, people really like Sevagoth, so yeah. Volt and Wisp are also an S tier. Again, they're really good speedsters. Volt has a good utility of kit too, same with the Wisp. She has invincibility on her kit, as well as just a lot of damage in general and boosts to damage, so yeah. People put Zaku S tier. Zaku's really good with void damage, good with duration, ability usage. You just recast your fourth every once in a while. So, strong frame, for sure. Maybe a little annoying sometimes survivability-wise because of the whole damage dodge thing, but Citrine's a strong frame. Kind of surprised people put Citrine S instead of A, but hey, it is what it is. I love her, so I get it. She's a good turret. She hits a lot of statuses with that turret, right? Her one turret gem. You get a lot of energy, health crystals, good DR. Good damage, good crystallized, crit. God, she has a little bit of everything. And then there's Kurilevo, really good damage, overguard, so I think that's primarily why people put him here. Damage and overguard. Dante's the entire kit, best frame in the game, everyone's saying, so no questions asked there, S. And yeah, that's just, just is what it is. Invincible AoEs, Insane damage AoEs. Yeah, you get overguard, you get damage multipliers, you get damage on stat. Oh god, all the damage. And then you have your girl Daggeth, which also has really good damage multipliers on her kit and damage and some damage reduction or armor reduction type stuff. Then it's a lot of the A tier frames, which are like probably most frames you just see running around most missions. They're everywhere. All the A and the S tier frames. Brute, Caliban, Chroma, Ember, Frost, Gara, Garuda, Grendel. Let's see. All of those ones. Yeah, they're all really good. I don't use a ton of Brute, but he's really good. Okay, you have really strong punches, exalted punches, defenses. Caliban's good with defenses, summons, armor shreds, like increased damage boosts. Chroma's overall good. Mainly, I see Chroma only used in Profit Taker, but Chroma's overall kit is a good bunch of like passives that give good boosts. So, like, fair enough. You do get like little boosts on Chroma. Ember's good because you get that sweet AoE damage. Fire, you get some like armor shred stuff, cool stuff. Frost is great once you get that fourth ability, augment modding. Get a lot of damage overall, overguard, so that really buffs Frost kit up a ton, right? Gara and Garuda, yeah, both good AoE, like Garuda good blood, just good blood, but they both have good AoE attacks, good defense. Meatball, Grendel, Gyre, CC and Electric, Harrow, Headshot, Energy, Shield, good defenses and good weak point headshot damage, right? Hildren's like Shield flying around. Yeah, she has a weird kit. I like her kit nowadays, but it's weird. I was never a huge Hildren enjoyer or user. Have not put a ton of time into using her kit, if we're being honest here. Yeah, Hydroid, Korra, Necros, all good. Some loot there. All good loot frames, one after another, right? Hydroid, Korra, and Necros. All A-tier loot frames. Some people would put Korra up at like S-tier. I think it was closer. But yeah, get some loot, get some AoE damage, stuff like that. Neja, still good for damage, some multipliers, you know, some defenses. Nidus, get some CC, get some damage in there, get invincibility if you build up enough stacks and everything, so he's pretty cool. Rhino's still very strong with Roar and Iron Skin defenses and some buffs there. Steinax, good for like armor shred, keeping up some your defenses, like was it shield or overguard regen with some of his augments. Yeah, good frame. Titania, flying around, little fairy. Trinity, with Trinity rework, she's pretty much invincible, good team invincibility. Valkyr, nice, good melee, invincibility, damage, defenses that way. Yeah, good buffs. She's like glass cannon, all damage. You just gotta kill everyone until you un-hysteria claws. She's good, she's good. Veruna, always activate your abilities, passives, and then jump around using your ability. Nice. Wukong, Slam Kong, got a good chunk of abilities there. Zephyr, very strong, stay in the air, fly around. Just do a lot of damage, good crits, good boosts, good CC. Same with Jade, you just fly around doing damage, really. Killing enemies, good CC and damage, yeah. Komei is really strong, stronger, especially for long missions. Overall, her kit's like okay, but then after a bit, it's strong because of decrees, and then after a long time, it's insane because of decrees, so it's like, yeah, who would have guessed? Duviri frame's really strong for a really long run. Yeah. And then last but not least, like Cyto 9, new frame. People haven't had a ton of time to build. But if you think about like the weak point damage, ricochet, stealth, overall very strong kit. You just stay stealth, ricocheting your shots, and killing everything. Yeah, you can survive to the ends of time with all of the Warframes, because that's kind of how Warframe goes, right? Some just make it way more brainless, easy, like Revenant than others. Either way, that's what everyone's looking for right now for the community tier list. Just a quick chill one we made on stream after 4 hours. I'll throw the somewhat edited YouTube VOD up on YouTube for this whole stream if I haven't already, with like timestamps every hour or so. But it was honestly, I think like 3 hours of tier listing because it was fully community, like chat voted, so that was pretty fun. Good times, good times. But yeah, that's what everyone's voting for the tier list right now. Very curious what everyone else thinks in the comments, but this was all just like community, chat, YouTube, Twitch voted and talked about. So yeah, it's a pretty equal spread, and I feel like in Warframe, most things are really strong or like insanely strong or strong. So this sort of spread honestly makes sense. It's like just putting everything in S. You know, makes sense. Makes sense. But either way, yeah. Let me know what you think of all of that, everybody. Cheers, cheers. Sub, like, use Epic Games creator code Pupsker. Yeah.